It's 1980. The world is in the grip of the Cold War, a period of intense rivalry and tension between two superpowers. The Cold War is happening. This isn't just a political standoff, it's a battle of ideologies, a clash between capitalism and communism. Two big countries are facing off. On one side, the United States, championing democracy and free markets. On the other, the Soviet Union, advocating for a communist society. In the East, the Soviet Union is like a big sign for communism. It stands as a symbol of a different way of life, a different set of values. We're in Moscow, its capital city. A city that is both the heart of the Soviet Union and a reflection of its ambitions and struggles. The sky is grey, just like the big grey buildings all around us. These buildings, stark and utilitarian, are a testament to the Soviet architectural style. This isn't a city with bright lights and colours. It's a city built for function, not for beauty. The streets are filled with people going about their daily lives, often in a hurry, often with a sense of purpose. This is a city about working hard, about factories, about the working class. Factories are the lifeblood of Moscow, churning out goods and machinery, fueling the Soviet economy. A cold wind blows through the streets. It's a wind that carries with it the chill of the Siberian plains, a reminder of the harsh climate that shapes life here. It smells a little like smoke from coal and diesel. The air is thick with the scent of industry, a constant reminder of the city's relentless drive to produce and progress. It's a smell that tells you factories are working all the time, that the country is trying to catch up, to show how strong it is. The Soviet Union is in a race, not just with the West, but with itself, to prove its might and capability. But behind this show of power, there's a different story. It's the story of everyday life, of people who wake up each morning to face the challenges of living in a society under constant pressure. It's the story of regular people living under the government's watch. Surveillance is a part of life here, a silent observer that everyone is aware of but rarely speaks about. Listen, can you hear it? The hum of the radio, a constant presence in Soviet homes. It's a radio playing the news. The news is more than just information. It's a tool, a way to shape thoughts and opinions. Every word is chosen carefully to make people loyal, to make them believe the government's story. Propaganda is woven into the fabric of daily life, a subtle yet powerful force. This is what life sounds like in the Soviet Union, a constant reminder of who's in charge. The loudspeakers blare messages of unity and strength, but beneath the surface there's a different reality, one of control and conformity. Let's go inside one of those big buildings. These structures, often grey and imposing, are a testament to the era they were built in. They stand tall, almost like silent guardians of a bygone time. It's a shared apartment. Families live next to each other, sharing kitchens, bathrooms, and even phones. Imagine waking up to the sound of your neighbor's alarm clock or the smell of their breakfast wafting through the thin walls. The sense of community is palpable, yet privacy is a rare luxury. Privacy is something special most people don't have, and the walls are so thin you can hear everything. Conversations, arguments, laughter, and even the soft hum of a lullaby sung to a child. These walls hold stories, secrets, and the everyday sounds of life. It smells like cabbage soup and strong tea, which is common all over the Soviet Union. The aroma is a blend of simplicity and sustenance, a reminder of the shared meals and the collective effort to make do with what little is available. Kids in clothes passed down from older brothers and sisters run and play in the hallway. Their laughter echoes through the corridors, a joyful noise that momentarily drowns out the hardships of daily life. These hallways are their playgrounds filled with the innocence and energy of youth. Their laughter covers up the sound of the radio for a little while. The radio, often a source of news and music, becomes a background score to the symphony of their play. It's a brief escape from the reality that surrounds them. Life here is hard, a constant give and take between what people want and what's good for everyone. The communal living arrangement requires cooperation and compromise, a delicate balance of individual desires and collective needs. In this world of sharing and not having a lot, community isn't a choice, it's how you survive. The bonds formed here are strong, forged in the crucible of shared struggles and mutual support. It's a way of life that teaches resilience and solidarity. Neighbors help each other, sharing the little they have and depending on each other to get through the day. Whether it's lending a cup of sugar or offering a helping hand, these small acts of kindness are the glue that holds the community together. These friendships, made during tough times, are super strong. They are built on trust, shared experiences, and the understanding that together they can face whatever challenges come their way. In this symphony of socialism, every note, every voice contributes to the harmony of communal life. The factory whistle blows, a loud sound that tells everyone it's time to work. It goes across the whole city. For people in the Soviet Union, work isn't just a job, it's something you do for your country. From office jobs to factories, everyone has a part to play in this big plan. Inside the factories, it smells like oil and metal. Machines make loud noises, showing how strong the Soviet Union is. Workers, looking tired but determined, work hard to make what they're supposed to. But even though it looks like everyone is working together, people are frustrated. They don't get paid much, there aren't many things to buy, and the promise of a better life for workers seems far away. Still, they keep going because they're a little afraid and they have a little hope for a better future. From the time they learn to read, Soviet kids are taught about communism. The education system is designed to instill the principles of the state from a very young age. This early indoctrination ensures that the children grow up with a strong sense of loyalty to the government and its ideals. Schools aren't just for learning academic subjects, they're places where kids learn to think like the government wants them to. The curriculum is carefully crafted to include not just reading, writing, and arithmetic, but also lessons on the virtues of communism and the importance of the collective over the individual. Pictures of Lenin and Marx are on the walls, watching the students. These images serve as constant reminders of the leaders' ideologies and the expectations placed upon the students. The presence of these figures in educational settings reinforces the idea that the state is always watching and that adherence to its principles is paramount. Classes teach not only facts but also the government's ideas. Teachers are trained to weave the state's propaganda into every lesson, ensuring that students absorb these messages alongside their academic studies. This method of teaching creates a seamless blend of education and indoctrination. Math and science are taught along with communist ideas. History is changed to fit the government's story, and asking too many questions is bad. The curriculum is designed to present a version of history that glorifies the state and its leaders, while discouraging critical thinking and independent inquiry. Everyone doing the same thing is the goal, and if you don't, bad things happen. Conformity is highly valued, and those who deviate from the norm are often punished or ostracized. This creates a culture of fear and obedience where students learn to follow orders without question. After school, the young pioneers teach kids even more of the government's ideas. These youth organizations are extensions of the school system, providing additional opportunities for indoctrination and socialization through various activities and programs. Children are further immersed in the state's ideology. These groups, with their bright scarves and drills like soldiers, teach kids to follow rules, be loyal, and believe in the system. The structured environment of the young pioneers reinforces the values of discipline, loyalty, and collective responsibility, preparing children to become obedient citizens. For many kids, it makes them feel like they're part of something big, to believe in a future where everyone is equal. The sense of belonging and purpose provided by these organizations can be powerful, fostering a deep-seated belief in the ideals of communism and the promise of a utopian society. Even free time isn't really free. Parks, libraries, and places for culture have activities that show good communist values and what the party wants. Ballet shows tell stories about working hard and giving things up, and art shows celebrate the working class. Sports are good too because they make people strong in body and mind. Stadiums are full of cheering fans as athletes who show how strong the Soviet Union is, compete. Winning isn't just about being proud of your country, it shows the whole communist system is good. But even with all this planned fun, some people do their own thing. Underground rock bands play music the government doesn't like in secret places, singing about freedom. Illegal copies of books and magazines from the West are passed around, showing a different way of life. The sun starts to go down, making long shadows. For many people, it's time to stand in line. Lines go around street corners, showing how little food there is in the Soviet Union. People wait for hours for bread, milk, anything. Inside the stores, the shelves are often empty because the government doesn't plan well and there's a black market. Getting even simple things needs cleverness, knowing the right people, and good luck. But even though things are hard, people don't give up. Families eat small meals together, sharing what they have with neighbors and friends. Grandmothers teach their grandkids how to make a little food last a long time, sharing secrets learned over many years. As time goes on, people start to lose hope. The promises of equality and a good life don't seem real when there's not enough food, the economy is bad, and the government controls everything. People start talking more about how they disagree with the government. The Chernobyl disaster in 1986, a terrible accident that showed how the government kept secrets and made mistakes, made people trust the government even less. The government tried to hide what happened and didn't do enough to help, making people even angrier. Things are changing, and even the powerful Soviet Union can't stop it. The problems are getting bigger, and soon the whole system will fall apart. It's 1989. In Eastern Europe, the Soviet Union's control is getting weaker. One by one, countries start to break away because people want freedom and to control their own lives. In Moscow, Mikhail Gorbachev's plans to change the system actually make it fall apart. When people can talk more openly, they see that what the government says isn't true. On December 25, 1991, the Soviet flag is taken down from the Kremlin for the last time. The Soviet Union, once a super-powerful country that scared and amazed the world, is gone. Now there are 15 new countries, each dealing with a difficult past and an unknown future. The end of the Soviet Union is a huge event in history. It's the end of a time, the end of a dream, and the end of an idea that promised a lot but didn't give much. But the bad memories are still there. Many people died because of the government, forced labor, and not enough food. Many others were hurt by censorship, being watched all the time, and fear of being punished. It's impossible to know how much this big experiment hurt people. But even with all the bad things, there are also stories of people being strong, brave, and never giving up. People who lived through those times remember the hard times, but also how people helped each other, how clever they were, and how important it is to fight for what you believe in. The Soviet Union might be gone, but it still affects us today. From old statues of Lenin to empty factories, we can still see reminders of it. What happened in the Soviet Union teaches us about the dangers of too much power, why freedom is important, and how easy it is for countries to fight when they have different ideas. It reminds us that even the strongest empires can fall apart, and that even though you can try to stop people from thinking for themselves, you can't really. We need to learn from the past and try to make a world where these bad things don't happen again. A world where everyone is free, where everyone's rights are important, and where being happy isn't something special but something everyone deserves.